If you're considering living in Philadelphia, you must consider living in Center City, Philadelphia in particular. Philly isn't that large, however, it's large enough to leave you scratching your head, wondering where to live. Well, in this video, we're going to take you on a deep dive into what it's like to live in Center City, Philadelphia, so that you can make the best decision for you and your family. And make sure to watch the video until the end so that you don't miss out on the two massive mistakes I see people making when purchasing a home in Philadelphia. Mistakes that could cost you thousands of dollars and a ton of added stress. All right, let's get to it. Hey everyone, this is Chris Furman and this is my channel, Living in Center City, Philadelphia. Welcome. If you're hoping to make a lifestyle change and are trying to figure out what it's like to live in Center City, Philly, then this is the channel for you. So make sure to tap the subscribe button below, click that notification bell right next to it so you're notified each and every time we put out a brand new video for you. And we actually get a lot of people that are reaching out to us looking to relocate to the Center City, Philly area, and we love helping them out on their journey. So if you're thinking about making a move and have any questions about the area, particular condo buildings, about the market, really anything at all, don't hesitate to reach out. All of our contact information is below. We would love to help you out on your journey. Now let's explore Center City, Philadelphia. Center City is what we call the downtown area of Philadelphia. New York City has Manhattan, Philly has Center City. You've probably heard that Philadelphia is a city of neighborhoods. Well, Center City is also made up of a variety of diverse and exciting neighborhoods to choose from. Center City is the core of the city orbiting around City Hall. It's basically a rectangle around City Hall, as you can see on the screen. You've got Broad Street that runs north and south right through City Hall, cutting Center City essentially in two. And you've got Market Street running east and west through City Hall, cutting Center City in half the other way. Many folks consider the boundaries of the Center City area to be Spring Garden Street to the north and South Street to the south, and extending river to river, so from the Delaware River to the Schuylkill River. However, depending on who you talk to, these boundaries could vary slightly and certainly could change over time. And you probably already know this, but the city is a grid thanks to the design of the original founders of the city, and it's fairly easy to navigate and understand. To the west of Broad Street, you have the following neighborhoods: Rittenhouse Square, Fittler Square, Logan Square. Along Broad Street, you have the Avenue of the Arts neighborhood. And to the east of Broad Street, you have Washington Square West, which encompasses the Gayborhood and Midtown Village and some other micro neighborhoods. You've also got Old City. You've got Society Hill. We have Queen Village, also Bella Vista, Chinatown, and Penn's Landing. Now, there are other great neighborhoods in Philadelphia to consider besides these areas, like Fairmont or Graduate Hospital, for example. However, this particular video is focusing on Center City only. Now, you can learn more about other neighborhoods just outside of Center City by watching my other neighborhood tours, and I'll link those in the description below so that you can check them out later. All right, so what is Center City like? Well, as you can imagine, it's the most densely populated part of Philadelphia, dense with people, buildings, restaurants, stores, all of that, which really makes it the most walkable part of Philly. In fact, Philadelphia is actually one of the most walkable cities in all of America. Every major city is kind of walkable to an extent, but not like Philly. For example, it would take you hours to walk the downtown of New York City, whereas it would only take you about an hour to walk from one end of Center City, so let's say the Delaware River, to the other, which would be the Schuylkill River. That would only take you about an hour. So going from maybe Society Hill neighborhood to the Fittler Square neighborhood, doing that walk is only going to be about an hour. This video is sponsored by Evergreen Maids, Philly's finest home cleaning service. If you're looking for quality home cleaning service in Philly, check out Evergreen Maids. They are pet friendly and Philly local and will keep your home sparkling and fresh in a safe and non-toxic manner. My family loves Evergreen Maids and so do all my real estate clients. I'll put all their information in the description below and also coupon codes that you can get 25% off your initial cleaning. Now back to the video. Now before we keep discussing what Center City is like, I should note that each neighborhood in Center City will have a different vibe, and some of them will be very different from one another. Even though it's a very small area, there is a lot of differences here in the neighborhoods. So everything I say about Center City won't necessarily apply every neighborhood here. To get those micro nuances, you really have to dive into all of my neighborhood tour videos to learn more about a specific neighborhood, and I'll link all of those videos in the description below so that you can watch them later as well. As you can imagine, Center City is where the excitement is at. If you're currently residing in, let's say, a typical suburb and are looking to downsize in the burbs and come into the city for a change of lifestyle and more exciting pace, Center City is for you. Center City is where we're going to find the largest concentration of restaurants, bars, coffee shops, stores, and all of that. And no matter which Center City neighborhood that you're living in, you should really be able to walk to at least some of these options. Though neighborhoods like Rittenhouse Square or the Avenue of the Arts or Washington Square West, those neighborhoods are probably gonna have the largest concentration of eateries, restaurants, etc. Center City is really the epicenter here of culture in Philadelphia. You're gonna have the art scene represented here with the opera, the orchestra, Broadway style plays, and all of that. Live music venues or comedy shows are in Center City. And you also have the large public squares or parks, green spaces like Rittenhouse Square or Washington Square and others. And a ton of civic and social clubs and organizations are also founded and oriented around Center City, Philadelphia. So this is really where a lot of the culture is going to be happening here. There's always something to do in Center City. Not necessarily in other areas like maybe South Philly or West Philly, for example, though those are fine areas, but Center City is really where it's at. If you live here, you're always going to have something to do. Whether it's to go to a great restaurant or bar, see a show, go shopping, participate in one of the many community building activities here like dancing on the square in Rittenhouse, or attending a cultural celebration, or going to the local farmers markets in the area. Really, the list goes on. And if you're into fitness and health, Center City is also the place to be. You've got the Schuylkill River Trail, which is along the western river of Center City, and you've also got the Delaware River Trail along the east side of Center City. And these are going to be great for walking, jogging, biking, really just enjoying your time outdoors. The Schuylkill River Trail in particular, honestly, I think is one of the best amenities, at least the best outdoor amenity that Center City has to offer. It's really beautiful. Actually, I have an entire video on that, which I'll also link that down below. I think you should definitely check it out. You've also got the 4 major public squares here, so lots of green and open space to enjoy, to be active. Also a ton of gyms in the area and health and social clubs in Center City, like the Fiddler Club or the Sporting Club at the Bellevue. So really your list goes on for these social clubs. Or just walking around Center City is a great way to stay active, to stay healthy. And again, this is the most walkable part of the city. So if you don't want to drive all over, which most people don't in Center City when they go out to a show or restaurant, you're going to keep fit and healthy, and it's really going to be great for your lifestyle. And real quick, if you found this video helpful thus far, it would mean the world to me if you wouldn't mind going down below and clicking that like button so that YouTube knows I'm putting out some helpful content. All right, let's talk about jobs. In case it's not clear, each and every neighborhood in Center City is residential in the sense that you can live there. However, many work in Center City as well. And the main commercial corridor here with the most employment opportunities is probably centered around Market Street, where all the tall buildings are. This is the Market Street that cuts City Hall in half. You've got companies like Comcast, their company headquarters is here. Accenture, Ernst & Young. We've obviously got City Hall for government employment. Independence Blue Cross headquarters is here, the health insurance company. And many, many more big, large companies are here, but also smaller companies are right along Market Street as well. So it's really very easy to live and work in Center City, Philadelphia, which I really think is the best of both worlds. If it's not obvious yet, you get diversity in Center City. Diversity is certainly throughout all of Philadelphia, but Center City has a blend of everything and everyone. All experiences, all cultures and flavors are here in Center City. You really have your pick of the neighborhoods based on what you're looking for. But even then, if you pick a particular neighborhood, you can still walk a short distance to another completely different neighborhood and get a lot of diversity. It's pretty neat here. Now at this point, you're probably asking the question, is Center City safe? Well, safe is kind of a feeling, and I can't answer that for you 100%. That being said, most of my clients that I take around to see condos or townhomes in the Center City area comment on the Center City area as feeling the safest to them. And if you look at crime stats online, like shootings, for example, violent crime, you'll see that those areas are not clustered in Center City like in other areas of the city. You really have to come and visit Philly and walk the areas to know for sure, to know how safe you'll feel. And I would encourage you to do just that. Send me an email to chris@meetchris.com if you're coming into town for a visit, and I can help you out, point you in the right direction, show you some homes. And by the way, I regularly work with empty nesters and retirees moving into the city. So if you're wondering if the city is right for you and you might be on the fence, well, I would encourage you to think about it. Think about it again. Most of my clients are moving here because they want to change a pace, a different lifestyle. And once they move here, they really love it. They love the experience, downsizing typically from the suburbs, that kind of, you've been there a while, it's kind of getting boring. You want that change of pace. So once you move into the city, I'm pretty sure you'll love it. So again, if I can help out, just reach out. All right, before I show you some of the housing options here, let's talk about a few common mistakes when moving to Philadelphia. There are at least 2 massive mistakes that you can make when purchasing a home in Philly. Many people are aloof to these, and especially if you're relocating from the burbs or another state, you don't really know about these nuances. The first mistake I see people making is to use a local realtor who actually isn't local. I would encourage you not to use a realtor from the suburbs that doesn't understand the nuances of the city. Purchasing a home in the city is absolutely nothing like buying a home in the burbs. You've got Philly-specific rules and regulations, taxes. They're wildly different here. How the market behaves here is completely different from the suburbs. And there's just so much more than that. But some realtors actually try to do both. They try to do work in the suburbs and also selling homes in the city, and it just does not work well. You really need to live in the city to understand the city. You need to walk the blocks, eat at the restaurants, and all of that to really understand the nuances of buildings, of townhomes, of the streets, all of that stuff. For example, what the new mayor here is doing is drastically different than our prior administration here. The new mayor is doing so many initiatives that are really changing the city for the better. If you don't live here, if you don't really keep in touch with that by living here, you're really aloof to all those things. And if you're buying a condo in a city, there are a million things to know and to look out for, and you really need to hire an agent that knows the city inside and out, that knows the nuances of which condo building might be a little bit riskier to purchase in. Reach out to me if I can help you in any way. Just shoot me a quick email to chris@meetchris.com. All right, let's talk about the second mistake. Choosing a mortgage lender that doesn't know the city. If you're paying cash, you can tune out for the next 45 seconds here. But as mentioned above, the city really has a lot of specific nuances, and you don't want to just use any lender, especially a big bank national lender, because they can cost you the deal actually. You need to use a good, solid local lender that knows the Center City area inside and out, and who actually lives here ideally. One of the risks to using a big bank is when they do the appraisal. Some appraisers work mostly in the suburbs and only a little bit in the city. So think about this. If a big bank has a good relationship with an appraiser that they like, but they only work in the city 5% of the time, do you really want that appraiser coming into the city to do a condo appraisal for you when they don't know the micro nuances of the market here? Probably not. And the reason why you wouldn't want that is because if they appraise it low, under value, you could potentially lose that deal or have to pay extra money out of pocket, which just doesn't make sense for most people. So that's why I'd encourage you to use a local lender, because they know the nuances. They typically have appraisers that are local and things like that, which really help with the deal. Even the listing agent, when you're submitting an offer, if they see a bank they don't like, they might tell the seller, hey, this is a good offer minus the lender, and that actually could cost the deal. Anyway, if you need a solid local lender with competitive rates, just shoot me an email at chris@meetchris.com. and I'll hook you up with one of the best lenders in the city, hands down. Let's talk about housing now. As mentioned before, you have diversity in neighborhoods in Center City, but you also have diversity in your housing options. You can go for a residential vibe or more of an urban vibe, laid back or more lively. If you want to live above a bar, you can do that. If you want to live with less noise, we've got you covered. You've got quaint or modern, stately or simple. You really have your pick of the litter here in Center City. In Rittenhouse Square, Old City, and Washington Square West, you'll probably have more condo buildings of varying sizes. However, there are also row homes available in those neighborhoods. In the Avenue of the Arts and Penn's Landing, you're basically only going to have mid to high-rise condo options there, and really no row home or townhome options there. And in Fittler Square and Society Hill, in those neighborhoods, you're mainly going to have row home options, though each of those areas does have some high-rise condo buildings, just not many. These neighborhoods are a bit more relaxed and a little bit more low-key. And in Bella Vista and Queen Village, you'll pretty much only have row home options and really no condos in that area, at least no mid to high-rise condos in that area. You'll probably have condo conversions, which are basically mansions or bigger homes that were converted into smaller condo units. And click here to check out all of my Center City, Philadelphia neighborhood tours to learn more about each and every neighborhood that we just talked about. And also email me at chris@meetchris.com with any questions.